Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Landon Bears Broadcasting Network.
Landon Bears Broadcasting Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Landon Bears Broadcasting Network.
There's a shot from Reed. He scores! He scores! Reed, puck on!
That's with the cutter. Takes him behind the back shot. Antonetti.
Back. Once a man deep. It's Southworth.
He catches it! Dean Southworth over his defender!
Unbelievable!
Open man. Johnson, big hit! UB Zaid!
Bergon over to Damian, hit shot! He
Good move, keeps the puck. And a big hit by Christian Benner.
Let's go Bears!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Landon Bears Broadcasting Network. I'm Sutton Smith. I'm joined alongside by Dennis Leary. Dennis, how are you today?
I'm doing good, that's for sure. We had a little bit of bad weather coming in, maybe about 30 minutes ago. A little bit delayed, but now it's beautiful. The sky's blue. Perfect for a game of lacrosse.
Yeah, the game is starting at 4:40 because, as Dennis said, about 40 minutes ago, they had a weather warning. I guess some lightning was coming over. Anyway, this is the IAC semifinal for lacrosse. Landon versus St. Albans. St. Albans on the year 8-8 with a solid 500% win percentage, and Landon 16-1 with doubling St. Albans' win percentage. They met earlier in the season. I believe Landon won 11-8 or 11-7. One of those, but should be a great one today. It's a beautiful day. I'm ready for some Bears lacrosse. This face-off still down. Albans comes out with that. Checks, flag down. Great start. First thing that you want. St. Albans now. This pass drops, stays with Albans. Flag still down. No change of possession yet. Trying to make the most of it. Here's a dodge on DeSanto, kind of fires that towards the net, and now it's out of bounds. It'll be Carter DeSanto going to the box. St. Albans with their first Man-up opportunity with 10:45 to go in this first quarter. This shot over the crossbar. Stays with Albans. Still rotating the ball. Albans tried using the cutting game earlier. See what they do here. Here's a shot. I believe that's Matura who got his stick in there, and it's Landon ball. Eli Smink got there just in time with 24 seconds on the penalty kill. Steven Rizzo only allowed 3 goals against Georgetown Prep last week, as this gets just by Smink. St. Albans back on offense. Penalty successfully killed. This is defense on Bascott. Good save by Rizzo. Cassidy unable to hit Swifty, but he's got to go. Ball picked up by Aiden Cassidy. Here's Southworth. Caden Southworth, one of Landon's top scorers with 16 on the season. But he's a playmaker. He's got 19 assists. Here's Dev Stewart. Here's Murray, Landon's leading scorer, fires it and scores. Landon's leading scorer all year gets this back into the back of the net. Similar story like he has been all season. Murray now with 49 in 2025. Gouge still on the faceoff, wins that. Gouge gonna go on himself, fires and scores. Hayden Gouge takes it straight from the faceoff and beats the goalie with a high bouncer. Landon up 2-0. That marks Hayden Gouge's 4th goal in the season. His 6th point overall. And now Albans picks this up, gets checked by Schmidt. Ball still on the ground. That was just, I guess, flipped towards Landon's side. Albans comes out with it, gets pushed from behind by Derwinski, and that's Landon ball. Cassidy throws that to Stewart. Jonas Hawkins. Stewart now. Flips it back to X with Cassidy. Cassidy goes back. Dodges again. Up to McConna. Now up top with Southworth, who'll go. Southworth is going to fire just wide. Here's Southworth. Muscling inside, gets it to McConna, who fakes and fires. A save there by Holt Farver. Albans now trying to get their first goal of the game. Muscling in, on his left, fires. Just outside, stays with St. Albans. Pedraza loses his stick, and that's a great save by Steven Rizzo. I believe he barely caught that between his legs. Here's Papelia. Cohen just walking down. Hits Murray. Now Sean. Spins back, gets inside. While going down, it's a save. Sent all the way down towards the net. Stays St. Albans ball. Bulls fires, scores.
Excellent shot there by Devin Stewart, putting it right past the goalie to give Landon a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you've had me. This one won by Talon Smith. To Murray. And sorry for about the no audio for however long it was. Didn't realize that I was actually muted. But I'm aware of that now, so you don't gotta worry.
I bet the viewers know you well enough that they know what you're about to say in those moments.
Here's Murray, who scores. Sean.
Just putting on a show in this IAC semifinal right here. Really trying to show you who the most dominant team in the IAC is.
Honestly, it might have been you that was muted. I couldn't tell.
I didn't say much anyway I was filming.
This face-off picked up by James Schmidt. He's just going to play it safe, give it back to Rizzo, who's going to float that down to Talon Smith. A great move there by Talon. We saw what he did against Episcopal. You know he's got some handles. Here's Cohen up top. Now Luger. Luger going to dodge to his left. Cuts back. Gives it to an open Cohen, who's going to fire. And is saved there by Farver. 10 seconds to go. Holt just firing that. He'll be out of bounds. With 4 seconds. And now Smink is just going to fire. Just off, and that'll do it for the first.
Son, I gotta ask you, after a good first quarter action, what's your score prediction for this game?
You know, I think it's going to be a lot less of a battle than it was earlier on in the season when Landon only won by 3. I'm going to give them a 7-goal win. Let's go 11-4.
Good. Sounds plausible.
What about you?
I'm gonna go with a little more something abstract. I'm gonna say Landon's gonna actually get a shutout today with Rizzo putting on another stellar performance. Only allowing 3 goals against Prep. I don't think he'll allow anything against St. Albans, and I think it'll be a 10-0 win for the Bears.
All right. We'll see what happens. Go ahead and say that through 12 minutes, our leading scorer, Sean Murray with 2 goals, followed by Devin Stewart with 1, and Hayden Gouge right off the faceoff with 1. And now here's Googe again. Gives it to Murray, who fires.
A close one starting the second quarter off.
We've seen that pass right off the faceoff many times. In fact, I think that's one of Aiden Cassidy's favorite shots. Catch the goalie off guard with a top corner snipe as here's McConna. Gives it up to Nopen Stewart. Dev spins. Fires. And a save there by Farver.
Great save by St. Albans there. And yeah, I mean, St. Albans has looked actually pretty decent defensively, even though they're down, 4-0 for that scoring. I mean, Landon's had a lot of attempts, so St. Albans' offense hasn't been making it easy for their defense. Landon always having the ball.
Here is Neverovsky gonna dodge. He'll give it up to Southworth. Southworth will go here. He has speed. Gives it to X with Murray. Murray now. This is Southworth. Southworth on the left hand fires. And it was saved. Now coming out. It's an open man. And then he loses it. Push from behind called on Derwinski. Here's St. Albans. Still scoreless. Trying to muscle in. Neverovsky goes down. Now he fires. That bounce shot just wide. And now Albans receiving a pick. Cassidy trails. Keeps him out. Good defense there by Cassidy, not letting anything up. And now he fires. Flag is down.
I mean, this is a great week for Landon sports all around. I'm pretty sure the Bears baseball team also secured the 1 seed by winning the coin toss after splitting games with Prep, and I mean, of course, your lacrosse team, the 1 seed. Pretty good season overall.
Shout out the golfers too. They came second in the IAC championship with one of our fellow Bears Broadcasting Club members, Kyle Dyer, coming out second. I believe that's I might be wrong about this, but it's the highest since Charlie Bundy back in 2022, who actually won that tournament. And the baseball team actually won yesterday against Episcopal, I believe, 6-3. So they are in the IC championship. That series will be here tomorrow, Prep Thursday, and if needed, Game 3 will be back here, which we will try our hardest to do if we can. Tomorrow, also, the faculty plays the students in a annual Ultimate Frisbee match, so that's a lot of fun. And then looking at the JV aspect, or varsity tennis is playing today also against Georgetown Prep. Is that a semifinal matchup?
I believe it is.
So that's a semifinal matchup. I believe St. Albans was the 1 seed, and we're the 2 seed by kind of a wide margin. I mean, it's always Albans and Landon in tennis. In fact, I don't know the last time that a Landon / St. Albans athlete hasn't won the IAC championship in tennis. Back to the action. Here's St. Albans. Here's St. Albans. Dennis, your prediction incorrect. First goal scored, putting them within 3.
Yeah, I mean, the little break in the action, a little lost momentum there. I mean, you try to do that, try to get, your players thinking more sensibly, and, they got it done, got a goal, and we'll see how things go out from here.
Yeah, I guess that's what happens when you have so many players getting in the box. I mean, already Landon has been in the box, and they've had to kill a penalty. You're not going to kill every single penalty. You're going to let something in. Score's now 4-1, and this face-off, still on the ground, now pops up, picked up by Luger. Here's Riley. Landon kind of just trying to settle down as a swim move. He flips out all the way up to Sean Murray. Here's Cohen. It's Cassidy. Hawkins now up top. Tried it in Luger. Unable to handle that pass. Just waiting. Letting their guys come in. Andrew Allen behind at X. Gonna fire. Saved by Rizzo. Now trying to clear with Luger. Floats it all the way down to Cassidy. He hits it open, Hawkins. Neverovsky up top. And now Stewart. Stewart driving in. Hits Southworth to his left. Spins back. Back up to Stewart. Now McConna. Good move by McConna. Hits an open Murray. And Murray tried kind of flipping that towards the goalie. Here's Hawkins. Hawkins gets tripped, goes down. Stewart to Neverovsky. Now Murray on his left. It's an open Cassidy who will fire. Just wide. St. Albans ball. With Farver. Cassidy's in there. This is picked up by Albans, then a check. And Cassidy blows him up. Flag coming down. Cassidy does not like that call, neither do the Landon coaches. Even so, you really got to be careful. These refs will call anything, and Landon serving their third or fourth time in the box. It's not even halftime.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell Landon plays with a lot of heart, so, they're going to get time in the box, and, yeah, that was a huge hit, though, fun to watch.
Even if it's not legal, I mean, it's fun. So Albans, again, with a minute-long man-up advantage. Here's John Wigman. Wigman still gives it to Burns. Burns still with it. Dropped. Matura trying to get on that. Burns comes in from behind, and he'll be called. Flag is down. Refs still discussing. I think they called a delay game on Landon. So it'll stay St. Albans ball because of a delay of game penalty on the Bears. What I'm getting from the refs.
I wonder what these refs are doing behind the scenes. This seems a little suspicious.
I think they're just doing their job.
Maybe a little bit of money incentive.
Nah, every single game is like this. Can't have a perfect ref. Here's Lacey Rice. Gives it to Wigman. Inside. Good defense by the Bears. DeSanto giving that back to Rizzo. Now all the way down to Swifty. Robert Swift hitting Hawkins. And a late shove. Nothing called for it. Nope, flag coming down. Here's Cassidy. Gets inside and fires with a goal. Had a bit of a drought, but the scoring is back on for the Bears.
Yeah, I don't think Landon was very happy after that string of kind of bad calls and, late shove and pretty late call there, too. I don't think Landon was very happy and, instead of showing it through their emotions and, making it worse for themselves, they showed it out on the field.
Well, this game for the losing team is the last game that these guys or the seniors of the losing team, last game they'll ever play of high school lacrosse. The stakes are high. Attitudes are going to get high. And that's just how the game goes. Here's Talon Smith winning the faceoff. Smith going in, going to take it and scores. Both of our faceoff guys getting a goal today. Talon Smith, Hayden Gouge. Can't stop him.
All of our seniors playing at college. All of our seniors. Who is it? Like Luger?
No, he is.
Who is it then?
Most of our goalies don't go.
What?
Most of our goalies don't go. Yeah. Who just got the goal before him? Cassidy. Here's Southworth off of the Landon face-off win. Never else, you didn't see him there. Hits a cutting Neverovsky, who spins. Good move. Gets to Cassidy. Back to McConna. Now Murray. Nothing there for him. Back to McConna. That pass short for Hawkins, and it goes out. Cassidy. Benjamin Palma. Over to Allen. Believe timeout called by Albans. With 2:43 to go in this half.
Sutton, as we're approaching this half, what do you think each of the teams is going to, each of the coaches for each team is going to tell their players?
So I know that Landon has been up most of the year, and so I think that for Coach Will McGettigan, he's probably just telling his guys they've been in this situation, they know how to play in this situation. You got to stay up. And for Albans, they're trying to come in here and cause a massive upset. I mean, Landon, they won last year, haven't really slowed down since last year. In fact, they're probably going to end the season, or they have ended the season. No, they will probably end the season with more wins than they did last year. And so, best thing that they can do, I guess, is just not really let up, fire shots in the back of the net, or at least try to, because you don't shoot, you don't score, right?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, Landon with statistically a better season win, we'll have to think than last year, if I'm correct. Well, assuming they win the IACs. And, lower on the national ranking list considerably, right? 15, are they?
And that's because we didn't really get the greatest strength of schedule. I mean, last year, Prep was better. Bolus was better. And yeah, but also I do believe we could be a little bit higher, because when you do look at the teams, Landon has beaten 3 nationally ranked teams, maybe 4, and they lost in overtime to the 10th team. So should be a little higher than 15, but I'm not an expert.
Yeah, I think last year, there was some teams that were like mid-teens that we just absolutely creamed. So I think it looks a little bit better.
Good use of word right there. Here's a shot, saved by Rizzo. And the quick breakout, didn't exactly see him there. That's back by Burns. And now Cassidy picking him up. Another flag down, wow. Refs are not letting anything go.
Yeah, I mean you can't have a perfect ref, obviously. Just an impossible ask. But I mean, you at least ask let the guys play. It's the seniors' last game probably for Albans here, and you think they want to just
They just want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that with all these calls, I mean, obviously the coaches are definitely fed up. You think players are probably about to be fed up. You think that those emotions could play into, I guess, a momentum shift in St. Albans' way?
I don't think so. I think Landon's just too good for Albans to really muster anything. I think they could have maybe a couple goals maybe here and there, but I don't think they have any way of beating Landon in this game outside of a miracle.
Well, I mean, I'll go ahead and just give an example of last night. The Denver Nuggets actually came from behind, created a massive upset against the Oklahoma City Thunder, stole game one. The way they did it was they targeted the guys who had a lot of fouls, so they, were more scared because they got a foul out. And also, they were a little fed up with some of the refereeing, and it was a little shaky in the Clippers series, but they powered through it. I guess we'll see if Landon can do the same. As here's Burns for St. Albans. 38 on the penalty kill.
Yeah, especially right now at this point of the game. If you're Landon, you probably don't want to let up a goal here just because you want to go into the half, feeling strong. I think if they don't let anything up, or if they do score, I mean, if they don't let anything up, I think they'll be going to the half with plus, 3-goal streak, which would be a good thing to go into the half too. But yeah.
Here's Palma. That shot goes way wide, and it's Landon ball with Charlie Fields. Fields unable to grasp that one. 6 seconds on the penalty kill. Swifty getting back in. This shot over the crossbar. Timeout called by the Bears. "24 seconds until halftime. Really got probably one more possession. What do you think the St. Albans coach is drawing up? And what do you think Landon's coach is drawing up? Because he obviously had something to say calling that timeout.
I would expect Landon coach, obviously. I would expect them to be saying, keep it up with the pressure. Don't let Albans get anything cheap for the half ends. And for Albans, I think it's the opposite. Try to get something cheap. Try to get something to switch momentum a little bit, and get Landon feeling a little nervous going into halftime. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Landon's gonna stay strong and go into halftime 6-1.
Allen takes a hit from Swifty, and another flag is down. So just as they killed it, another penalty is coming in. And I mean, so many flags have been thrown. You got to think, has Landon played this entire game with a man in the box?
I mean, pretty much. I mean, and at this point, these refs that are calling a lot of things that are a little bit suspicious. Maybe could go either way. But I mean, if it's always going in Albans' favor here, I mean, you got to think maybe the ref was a alumni.
You're really trying to push that agenda. I like it. Now these last 10 seconds, not really rushing it. I think that he's just going to wait. Yeah, okay, he will. And another flag is down.
What? The ref just threw a flag there. Yeah, I mean.
They're just playing a game. Who can throw more flags?
Yep, and St. Albans over there celebrating while being down 6-1. It's interesting.
I don't know what that was. I mean,
Well, I don't know. I mean, they just like kind of jumped at each other a
just
little
gotta
bit.
get fired up, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, 6-1 going into half. We'll be back with a halftime report in just a bit. So this is the IAC semifinal halftime report. So far, 24 minutes into this game, Landon's up 6-1. And those goal scorers for Landon being Sean Murray with 2, Aiden Cassidy with 1, Devin Stewart with 1, and both of our faceoff guys, Talon Smith and Hayden Gooch, both with 1. Dennis, go ahead, give the viewers who I guess missed out on the first half. Go ahead, give them a summary and I guess how both teams can improve.
All right, well, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, Landon scored 3, then Albans got 1, and then Landon scored 3 again. All right, so I think, Landon can improve by just, converting more on their opportunities. I think they had a lot of opportunities that they kind of missed, like just barely. I mean, honestly, ISC semifinal match isn't going to be a cakewalk most of the time, but this time, it was a close game last time as well. I think for Albans, they need to just, hope for a miracle. Maybe, I don't know, pray to the lacrosse gods.
Man, you're really trying to push this agenda that St. Albans has 0 chance.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I guess just like go talk to the rest. Also, that could do something.
Wow, okay. I'll go ahead and give a probably better explanation. St. Albans is getting the shots that they want, but they're not exactly great shots, right? I mean, they're
Definitely not.
They're just they're also kind of waiting a little bit more. Landon's just an aggressive team. They're able to get inside. They have many goal scorers. I don't really know anyone on this lacrosse team for St. Albans, but I'm sure that they have a few. In fact, I believe Watson Burns was one of them. I think I heard one of Landon coaches screaming "shooter, guard the shooter" when they were on their man up. But yeah, I guess more shots are going to win the game. We saw with Prep. Rizzo just had a great game against Prep. They still didn't have as many shots as they should have. But we also just had a really good defensive game that game, which is coming in this week. Looking ahead to the next game after this one, if Landon continues this streak, they will be in the IC Championship for, I believe, the 3rd year in a row. Last year they won 17-6. Does that sound right?
That sounds pretty accurate.
Yeah, hopefully that game isn't as rainy as it was last year.
Or cold.
That was cold. It was super windy also. But yeah, they'd be back here on Friday against the winner of Bolus and Prep, which I'd assume is be Bolus. So that would be a great game. Bolus is honestly pretty good. They have a 5-star, solid team. But that's that.
Got an updated score prediction, son?
I'm going to go stick with my 11-4 prediction.
I'm going to go ahead and stick to my 8-0 prediction. I think they're going to actually take away one of St. Albans schools.
You know what? I love to see it. That's been the intermission report, and we'll be back as soon as they are back.
In a jiffy.
coming back out. Actually, St. Albans has their best opportunity. They have 30 seconds of a two-man up advantage. 50 seconds of Swifty in the clock, or in the box, and 30 seconds of Jonas Hawkins in the box.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't think St. Albans is going to be able to score, but maybe they can sneak something in.
Starting straight with St. Albans. Here's Allen. To Wigman, who fires. Looked like off the shin of Steven Rizzo. Now another shot from Allen.
Yeah, St. Albans is just shooting everything. Every time they get the ball, it almost seems like they're not even aiming.
That is one of the criteria needed to score a goal. You got to be on target.
Yeah.
First penalty killed Hawkins. Or Swifty still in the box.
Yeah, I mean, St. Albans is shooting like they just downloaded a new video game. They're playing tutorial.
I wouldn't finish that if I were you. That's just not. Both penalties successfully killed. Here's Andrew Allen. Picked up by Southworth. Bascott has to find someone else. Andrew Allen still dodging out Southworth. Floated that towards a cutter. Wigman picks it up, gives it to Burns. Back to Wigman. 5 on the shot clock. Wigman's got to fire, and he will not be able to. Southworth coming out with that.
To all of our viewers, we're going to be posting a poll later on today asking whether we should a podcast or not. We might actually be interested in doing something like that, so just let us know.
We tried doing that. It was fine. Just could do it a little bit better.
Yeah, we could be like take inspiration from the MD Foodie Boys.
Yeah, you should be on the podcast. What do you think about that?
Oh, that sounds great.
St. Albans back on offense. Quick little possession there from the Bears.
Maybe if our podcast blows up, we can even start a cryptocurrency.
What would we call that?
Talk to
Oh my. Can't just steal someone's name. That was so bad. Okay, here's Logan Cassidy with some speed, giving it to his brother Aiden Cassidy. Luger. And now Papelia to Cohen. Matt Cohen gonna dodge, receives a pick from Murray. Walking down. Gives to Hawkins. Hawkins to an open Cassidy. Cassidy fires just wide.
So, and if there's one person you think is unlikely to score a goal that will score a goal today, who's your prediction?
Someone that's unlikely to score a goal that will score a goal.
Mm-hmm. That's what I asked.
Well, if I'd say someone, then it's likely for them to score.
No, but it has to be somebody that wouldn't score usually, but is going to score today. You think?
You know what? Let me give. Let's go Jacob Derwinski.
That's a good one.
I think he's gonna pick it up, go it all the way, from coast to coast goal.
I actually got Steven Rizzo scoring a goal today.
I thought you would say that.
I got the Albans goalie coming out for a last second attack, and Rizzo just chucks it up. Barbecue chicken.
Okay. Here's St. Albans with the pole goal. He'll fire. He got wide.
Back to that tutorial, bud.
What are you talking about? What tutorial? Smink now sending this all the way across to Devin Stewart, who gets across.
I mean, you could just say, dude's got to adjust his sensitivity.
Oh my. Murray behind his net. To Cassidy. And now McConna giving that to Southworth. Southworth going inside. Spins. Gives to Stewart, who fires. Hawkins gets around, hits, or sends that to a cutter. And now Hawkins on his left. It's a good save by Farver. This tip by Hawkins will be Landon ball.
Hackers versus noobs. Oh, lacrosse game.
Oh my goodness. Valentine. Are you just trying to say anything that comes to mind? It's if you're playing a game of hit or miss, it's just misses. This is a great save by Rizzo. And now Neverovsky. Giving it back to Cassidy. Over to Stewart. Stewart has some space. He's going to go in himself on his right. And an easy goal there by Devin Stewart, his second of the day. He's got a brace.
Another easy goal for Landon, just, adding on to the score.
That is indeed what they're doing.
Yeah, for my prediction to come true, they actually need to subtract from the St. Albans score. We'll figure out how that's going to happen.
First goal of the second half for the Bears at the hands of the Penn commit, Devin Stewart. Smith falls. Hold called. It is Landon ball. Talon.
And
Gives it to Hawkins.
If we play Bullis next week, that's a school with a lot of great athletes over there, actually. A lot of fame in their high school, even. Got Olympic athletes, everything,
And we're still better.
Yeah, I actually heard our track team, they went to Penn Realized, was it last week?
That was like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, they had a great showing there. Everyone kind of rallied watching them on the big screen while they competed.
Yeah, that was actually a great day.
It was.
Shout out the track team. They probably have some sort of invitational this upcoming weekend. Actually, it might be IAC championships for them over at Bullis.
Love to see Vincente run.
Yeah, here's Papalia, fires and scores. Joey P. firing that for his 5th goal on the season.
Joey P with an excellent goal right there, showcasing his raw athletic ability and superior shooting.
Coming back in, Hayden Gouge. Landon now up by 7 in this third quarter. This is won by Albans. And now taken by Gouge. Hayden Gouge cutting back, sending that all the way down to Cassidy. And he's coming off.
I've been dying to ask this question on the broadcast. Ben, the entire Landon lacrosse team.
Here's Matt Cohen. Up to Luger. He'll go here.
You want to answer that one?
Riley Luger. Back up to Papelia. And now Murray. Cohen goes down. Papelia loses his handle.
But, easily recovers it.
And now Cassidy in with a step, fires just wide.
Yeah, so, son, you want to answer that question about the gorilla?
Here's Jonas Hawkins. Tried hitting an open Murray. And now Papelia had another chance to Luger, and now Cassidy with 4 on the shot clock. Got a fire. Holt Farver with a save.
You didn't even get, the raw athletic ability. Son, I got a question to ask you.
Should I answer?
Um,
This is sent towards the net, and not there yet. And now still not there yet. Rizzo able to get back.
Rizzo with an incredible save, running around the goal and, saving that ball. I think if Rizzo was the one taking the shot into the wide open net, he would have made it.
I'm sure you do think that. Not saying you wouldn't, but it's your prediction. So here's Hawkins, close guarded. Hawkins gets inside and misses the net. Saves to Cassidy. Here's Stewart. Stewart fires and scores for his hat trick. Devin Stewart leading this Landon team to their 3rd consecutive IAC championship. At this point, kind of looking rough for St. Albans.
I think it's looked rough all game. It's just, the scoreboard hasn't reflected that until just now.
And now Talon Smith back in on the faceoff. He wins that. Gives it to Luger. Luger gets your cost checked. Now Landon really just winding this time down.
Playing catch, you could say.
Championship so close.
Still got another quarter to play.
You yourself said that this wasn't even close since the first goal.
No, it is not close at all. St. Albans just does not have what it takes to be a top-tier IAC team.
Here's Papelia. To Luger. Now to Cohen. Cohen, good move by him. He fires and scores.
Holy
Mac
moly.
Cohen gets it in the back of the net.
An incredible goal to get Landon double digits.
That is his 12th on the season.
All right, twin.
Ten to 1. The Orlando Bears. This is a early start from Albans. Stays Landon ball. Talon has a lot of speed. He goes in himself and scores. Looked like the St. Albans goalie wasn't even ready for him. Talon Smith has got a brace.
Yeah, this is two different playing fields, two different teams, two different playing fields right now. I mean, it looks like one team's on All Madden, the other team's on Rookie. Would you agree with that? Would you agree with that analysis, son?
Good shout.
Of course.
This one again, won by Goosh. Just under a minute, 45 seconds to go in this third quarter. Here's Southworth. Giving up to McConna. Back to Southworth. He'll probably go here with 20 on the quarter. Floats that towards nobody. Neverovsky picks it up. And now he's got to go. Cassidy got a fire. Spins, fires, just over the net. And you got .9 on the clock. Not really much you can do, but Sue Hawkins does. Oh, wow, that actually worked. If you had .5 more on the clock, that actually really could have gotten that. Oh, yeah, well, the camera missed it. Hawkins, what he did was he just, like, underhand passed that all the way to McConna, who was wide open, and then McConna got up between the goalie's legs, but not in time. So that'll do it through 36 minutes.
I mean, if our cameraman had got that on camera, then that would almost be a Instagram-worthy highlight if it went in. Definitely would have been.
Remind me who cameraman is?
Gosh, Finn.
No, it's you. Yeah, it's you.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of things at once here.
Bro, you're filming and speaking. I'm running the whole thing.
Yeah, but you have a stand for your mic.
Oh, wow. Wow, I have a stand. Okay, looking into this fourth quarter. Dennis, what do you think?
I think that Landon is looking at another IAC championship after Friday.
Who do you think they'll play?
I think it's going to be Bullis.
You think it's going to be Bolus?
Yeah, is it Episcopal is the other option? I mean, it would be cool. Actually, I would rather play Bullis. We played Prep last year, kind of giving the beat down. I think it's time we play Bullis this year in the finals.
I do agree with that.
We don't like Prep. They're probably our biggest rival in the IAC, but sometimes you got to switch it up, and Bullis is definitely a big rival as well.
Sure they're rebels? Here's Stewart. Landon still not taking anyone out yet.
Bird.
Here's Murray. Now Southworth. Gonna go at himself. Fires just wide. This is now Murray. Up to McConna. Back to Southworth, who goes in off the post.
Oh.
Now Neverovsky. Up to Murray. Back to McConna. Murray hits an open Southworth. Unable to get that one to go. And here's Trip Silva. To Hawkins. Back to Silva. Trip tries to muscle in. Over to McConna. Now Southworth. Now St. Albans. To the inside. Still loose. Now picked up. Ball still down. Body's flying around. Smink coming out with that. Whistles blown.
I mean, come on, referee.
Here's Burns. Boston Burns on his left. Just fires that wide. And now a shot. Saved by Rizzo. Selman's back on offense. Chipperfield able to force that bad pass for Murray. Now Luger. Gets Papelia. Papelia. Going now to Silva. Silva waiting. It's Papelia. Down to Hawkins. Now to Luger. And now Cohen hits an open Silva who fires, and a great save there by Holt Farver. St. Albans trying to break it out. They will. And now here's Burns to an open. And a goal there by Benjamin Palma. St. Albans, they've now got 2. That pass. And now another shot. Mark Osterley makes it 11-3. And now Smith wins that. Hawkins with it. And now Taylor Smith in. Grayson Pake. And Dusty Rhodes. Steven Rizzo officially coming out. Eli Green in. Tries hitting a cutter. Still loose. And now picked up by Fields, who drops it. Smink has to go himself, gives it to Green. And that goes out of bounds. Flag down for offsides, I believe. Easy save there by Green. Offsides being taken accounted. Now Wasson Burns. He hits Palma, and Benjamin Palma able to make it 11-4. My current prediction. Here's hitting Gooch. All the way back to Eli Green. Green to Wolgemuth. To Bascott. Tiller Smith now in. Sean Steese. Mac Dox. Back to Tiller. And now Tiller. Unable to hit Mac Dox, coming out with St. Albans. 2:22 to go. And he can't hit Palma there as that goes out of bounds. 2:14. And there's a shot from Allen. Makes it 11-5. Face off won by Gooch, back to Bascott. And Bascott unable to hit Mac Dox. 1:50 to go in this game. And a nice hit there by Kazan Wolgemuth. Allen's still with it. Now he's down, and now Palmer. Benjamin Palma, I believe that's his 4th goal. Now 11-6. Timeout called by the Bears. Landon wins this face-off, they can just run the clock out. This is won by St. Albans. They've got a chance with Andrew Allen. Good help defense by Bascott. Now a shot from Allen. He scores. This one by Smith to Murray, who will probably wait this out. Luger. Up top to Murray. Murray now doubled. Gives it all the way to Stewart. And with 5 seconds to go, that'll probably do it. Your Landon Bears are championship bound for the 3rd year in a row. Trying to take back, or trying to keep what's rightfully theirs, the IAC champion title. That'll be known during this Friday, where they will play the winner of Bolus versus Prep. I assume the game is already over, but, you know, with all this stuff, it's kind of hard to figure out who won, who didn't. Some of the schools' social media, they don't like posting and who wins until, like, I don't know. And so that'll do it. We'll go ahead, give you Landon's goal scorers, with their leading goal scorer being Devin Stewart, followed by Sean Murray with 2 goals, Talon Smith with 2 goals, and then the single goal scorers, Aiden Cassidy, Matt Cohen, Joe Papelia, and Hayden Goosh.
So, you know, we always give our stars right at the end of the game. What would you say, Sutton, for your 3 stars?
I'll go ahead and give Steven Rizzo my 3-star, because only let him 2 goals, had even a better game than he did last week. I'll go ahead say Talon Smith for my 2-star, because he scored twice off of a face-off. Like, it's great. He did his job perfectly. And then my 1-star, I'll give it to Devin Stewart. He had a hat trick. Can't have much of a better game than that, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm going to have to give my 3-star to Sean Murray, my 2-star to Devin Stewart, and my 1-star is going to go to Talon Smith. I think, 2 goals off face-offs, pretty impressive, and, Lee Roscoe's goals, the way he was moving, that was pretty fast. Not gonna lie, fast guy.
And so with that, Sean Murray is now up to 50 goals on the season, 76 total points. And you put that in 18 games played. Great season by one of our captains, going to Bucknell. And so, yeah, that'll do it for the IAC semifinal. Great season from St. Albans. They'll be back next year. But for the Bears, we will see you back on Friday against the winner of Georgetown Prep and the Bolus Bulldogs. That's all I got. I'm Sutton Smith, signing out on the Bears Broadcasting Network.